Good morning, good evening, good afternoon to anyone who's listening to Interchange. Don't know where you are and who you are, who's going to be listening to this. So if you listen to it, enjoy it, shoot a comment below, let us know what you think, and hopefully it will bring some help to you. Right now I'm actually on mile 3 of my 4-mile walk up the Intercoastal Waterway here in Palm Coast, Florida. My legs are burning, a little shortness of breath, but I felt really led to talk to you guys and encourage you guys during this walk. It's not easy losing weight. It's not easy getting healthy. It's really easy getting fat, to be perfectly honest. You know, I've gained a lot of weight since I got married and past couple of years because you get fat on life and you get lazy, and that's what it boils down to. You know, it's easy to eat a lot of bread and food that's not good for you, but it takes a lot of work to get healthy and work out and walk and get healthy. And it's not easy. My knees hurt, my back hurts, but I know that this pain is going to produce the results that I need to be healthy physically. And the same goes to your spiritual life and your mental life. You need to be healthy mentally, physically, and spiritually for you to fulfill the will of God for your life. There's so many people I know who have forfeited the will of God for their life for momentary pleasures, for relationships they know they shouldn't be in deep down inside. And if you're convicted at this moment, that's a relationship you need to get out of, if you can get out of it. I mean, it's not easy to, end a long-term relationship, but some of you need to get out of relationships you know deep down inside aren't beneficial to you. If you hear wind, it's a little windy here today, but it's a gorgeous day, side note. But there's so many people that I see that have seen in my life that have sacrificed the call of God on their life and, have deviated from the plan that God has for them for decisions they made, whether it's a relationship, a romantic relationship, a friendship, a business relationship, whatever it may be. You have forfeited your right to the best that God has for you. I look at Samson. I've been doing a series titled, Is It Worth It? And, I'm developing this series and really pouring a lot of my time and prayer and fasting into this thing. And I've really looked at Samson's life for the sake of being with someone he knew he shouldn't have been with. It cost him a lot. But in the end, God's redemptive power, caused him to fulfill what he was called to do. But in that process, even his parents came and said, hey, I don't think this is the best decision. And he was so headstrong, he said, no, this is what I want to do. And we've all been in those points and areas in our life where we've made decisions because we wanted to do them. We made decisions because we felt that they were the right decisions to make at the time, but they weren't the God decision. Some people go in and buy a house in an area because it's cheaper and financially it would be easier for them, which might at the time seem like a wise decision, but it could totally take you out of the will of God. It could totally take you out of what God has called you for. What are you going to sacrifice the will of God for your life for better weather or a better school system or a better, home? It all weighs out. If it's God, he'll provide a way. If it's not and you try to force it, it's not going to work out. That's something you have to understand and something you have to really pray about. Too many people make decisions without prayer nowadays that I've seen. Too many people will just make a decision because it feels right. And I'm talking to you from experience. I've made some stupid decisions the past 5 years that have cost me a lot. Financially, emotionally, relationally, really cost me a lot because they weren't the God decisions to make. My intent was good. Sometimes we make a decision when our intentions being well and good, but it's not God. Many times your intentions will forfeit the will of God in your life. You should write that down. Many times your intentions will forfeit the will of God in your life. You know, God is intentional in what he does and how he does things. But we aren't God, and we don't know what God has planned for us. So it's encouraging, and it's important for us to understand that there are better things for us, and God has our best interests at heart. You know, I look at a relationship of someone I know who has been divorced. They went through a very nasty divorce. They were hurt. They were broken. And they've yet allowed God to heal them. So they jump into another relationship where this person treats them like trash. This person mooches off them and sucks the life out of them, financially, spiritually, and emotionally. And this person is so emotionally wrecked that will throw away her whole family just to be with this guy. Is that a relationship that you know of somebody that's in a similar thing? I would encourage you to speak life into them and speak to them. You know, the Bible talks about iron sharpening iron. That's a true friend right there who will get in your face and say, hey, you're not making the decisions that I think are your best interests. And if the person chooses not to listen to the decisions or the questions you propose to them and, you know, your advice, that's on them. You have to do your part. You know, I think too many people have stayed silent for too long in the lives of their family, friends, people they know casually, and God has put you in their life for a reason. If you're a believer in God and you believe in the things of God, and if you're doing what God has called you to do, you are called to be salt. And sometimes salt in a wound will hurt, but it cleans it up and it helps close the wound. So I encourage you that in your life, if there's people that need to hear truth, for you to speak truth, do it. And then it's up to them and between them and God to make the right decision. You know, I wish I had more people like that in my life at certain points in my life. You know, being in the position I am in and the position I was in, you get a lot of yes people that will say yes, 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 99.9% of the time. And what happens is you get full of yourself. That flattery of people saying yes all the time, saying, oh, you're such a wise person, great decision. You get fat off your own stuff. And you begin to make decisions and becoming a people pleaser. My prayer is for the rest of my life that I don't become a people pleaser, that I become a God pleaser. Too many people are more concerned about pleasing men than pleasing God. So I encourage you, whoever's listening to this, if you know someone who's struggling and someone needs to hear truth, share this on their page. Say, hey, take a listen to this. I'm ashamed. Call your friends out on their crap. And if that word crap offends you, I'm sorry. But call people out on their stuff. We're called to be light in darkness. You know, people, we're supposed to, you know, where sin is, grace will abound much more. And sometimes the grace of the God is truth and speaking truth into someone's life who needs to hear it. I don't like to be told every single time around my dad that I need to lose weight. But it hurts and it really is annoying, but it's the truth and I need to hear it. That's why I'm doing it. That's why you hear wind, because I'm walking at a pretty high pace and it's a little windy here today. So I encourage you to speak truth into someone's life and also be receptive if someone is speaking truth into your life. You'll know when it's God and you'll know when it's someone just trying to get over on you. Because there are people who will try to manipulate you and there will be people who will try to advise you on things knowing well enough that it's not God and knowing that it serves their own agenda. But you need to be able to have discernment over those things. So I encourage you, share this to someone. Speak into someone's life. Do the right thing. Don't be silent. You know, if someone's walking off a bridge at night and you know at the other end of that bridge there's a gap and that person's going to fall to their death, are you going to speak into their life? Sometimes you need to speak into someone's life and prevent them from going off that bridge, spiritually speaking, emotionally speaking, and sometimes physically speaking. Hey man, I love you. Let's get your weight under control, man. I want you to be around for your kids. I have friends who tell me that. So that's what I'm doing. I'm trying to get healthy. It's not easy. Like I said before, it's easy getting fat and being lazy. But what makes champions and what makes people better is you pushing through and making yourself better. I don't like sweating. I don't like walking in the heat, but I have to do it. There's want tos and there's have tos. And sometimes you have to do it. You have to serve God. You have to abide by the things of God. Because if you don't, you're going to be lost. You're going to be a ship without a sail or a rudder, just being blown in the ocean with no direction, being pulled back and forth from tides, from different moods. I'm going to be over here because I feel this way. Then I'm going to go over here because I feel this way. Then I'm going to go over here because I feel this way. I really encourage you to make the decisions based according to the Word of God and based on those surrounding you and based on the people who are encouraging and uplifting and have your best interests at heart. I just want to end this podcast with just saying that I love you. And if you're offended by what I said today, good. I hope that offends you because that's the conviction of the Holy Ghost. I'm telling you that you gotta cut that stuff out. If you want to get in contact with me, I'll put my email address, my phone number for encouragement, for prayer. I'd love to sit and talk with you if you're in my area, or just talk with you over the phone and set up a time just to encourage you and give you godly advice. Remember, you are a child of the Almighty King, so that makes you royalty. You're blessed. You're entitled to the best that God has for you. And I want to let you know that I love you, I care for you, and I want God's best for you. Take care. Bye-bye.